Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome
Hey
to
everyone.
the Gossip Hour.
Episode 13. We're making tracks here.
We're schmoovin',
All
as the
right,
kids say.
we
We're
are
schmoovin'.
we're doing a lot more professional stuff. We had a count in. Air keeps track of the episode numbers now, and so we're a real podcast now.
It feels official.
Yeah. So what are
How's
we
everyone
talking
doing
about
this
this
week?
week? Oh.
Lathes. We're talking about a fuckload of lathes.
I feel like
Got a little
something happened
fiery.
Couple
before
things
I.
happened.
Yeah, something happened earlier that we were like, we should talk about that. It was like on like a Thursday or something. I feel like, but I
Oh
can't
yeah.
recall.
It
Is
was
it
some
Ozeki drama?
pricing thing. No, I think it was
Price
some
copying.
price copying. Some Pokemon got brought up again. I think it was some bullshit price copying about Pokemon.
Chat, who should I pick?
It's very
The
nice.
the blue one.
It's very nice that the eBay person who put
Man.
that end of a year put or end of an year put that Zelda TP on to end just in time for our podcast. That had to have
Oh
been
yeah,
intentional, right?
we got to see
hmm
that. That's a
They definitely
sponsored
knew we were going to talk about it.
sponsored eBay listing. Yeah, that was wild to
Nobody in
see.
the waiting room knows that we
Did it
get
end
10% of
already?
that.
When does it end?
It ended an hour or two ago for like
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
$2,100.
a decent amount of cash.
It didn't go
Crazy.
for as much as the latest Chrono Trigger went on eBay for, which
That's
is
true.
surprising.
That's a good point.
But I guess
I didn't even think
that's
it
a
went for
whole
that much. It went for like 2,100.
I'm
yeah.
at a point where I hardly believe any eBay auctions end with real bids.
Yeah.
I'm just so skeptical. I feel like shill bidding is so
It,
rampant.
it it feels like most of them are some kind of shill bidding.
I don't see how you can get away with shill bidding. Like do people just create account on account on account, or are they just like this
Like
is
a
my moment
reputable
to shill
account from a
bid?
friend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's lots of ways you can do it, which don't
I
have
mean
to
I
discuss
yeah.
necessarily, but
Yeah.
I mean I guess
Here's
I get
how to
it if
shill bid, everybody.
Shill bidding 101. Brought to you by
I'm
the
guessing
podcast.
put a $600 bid on this TP and then someone shill bids up to 5,000 and then no one else gets any bids in. Is that kind of how it goes?
more or less,
They
it
Okay.
like
just kind of
pump up the price
inflates.
basically, and then they back out, and then the second person is like on the hook for it.
Yeah. So would that second person be that person who had like the low bid, or would it just be
It
like
would be whatever
when
their
you get
last bid
compete?
was, probably.
Okay, so yeah, because
Yeah.
when you get competing bids, then it auto bids up to like $25 over over that person's max limit, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so you can like do the cool thing of like bid, and then it's lower than what you actually bid,
Hmm.
and you just like wait it
Yeah.
out.
Sorry, it's been a minute since I've done eBay, so
It's been a
Yeah.
minute since I've pumped up the prices of my own records to resell them later.
oh, so you're Rex for Rex.
They say
Someone has
that
to
I've
be.
been known to give a Rex for Rex, so
E
I'm not.
Rex for Rex.
I won't confirm or deny that statement. But it was cool to see that. Seen two of the Zelda
Yeah.
Moonshakes now.
Hmm.
There's like 4, 5. Not
I
a
think
lot.
four.
I'm not gonna lie, but the art fucking sucked ass.
It's terrible. It is
I
terrible.
I
It is
liked
I
the
don't
not
know if
good.
anybody
first.
was gonna say that, but it's really bad. What
I
the fuck
liked
does
the
Wind
first
Waker have
art.
to do with Zelda too?
With all due
Of Zelda
respect
1, and
to
I
the
think it has
legacy
Ocarina
of
of Time on
Sean,
it.
it is absolutely dog shit. But
The first TP we saw was like Zelda 2, right? Like it was inspired by Zelda 2 or A Link to the Past.
I
I
think it
think
was. I thought it was Link's Awakening. Maybe I can't recall.
maybe
I don't know if I even saw it.
It was a big. It was
it
like kind of like a profile of Link, like looking off
it,
into the distance.
it looks so much better.
It did look much more professional.
Like I guess
I
that would
can.
help whenever there's something involved with whatever the music's about. There's
But
not Wind
hey,
Waker music on there, is there?
no.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Pico, I'm posting it in discussion, the image of the first known Moonshake test press. I think that looks gorgeous. But yeah, that second one, it was just ugh.
But hey, good for that person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like it. I like the 3-color tone.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I can dig it. I
So
like
we
the
got.
gold. I think anything Zelda gold is
Mm-hmm.
good.
I mean, yeah, it just kind of makes sense.
Tried and true.
Undeniable.
Yeah, for
Atrix, did I see that you had a 200% completed Cuphead game?
I do.
Are you a power nerd
Oh my god.
with this?
Yes, I am. I'm a fan of this game.
Where is Jizloon?
I
Folks are
it's
asking.
never right if I don't fuck up.
But
He
everyone can hear Atrix, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like, I'm not muted. I can see I'm
we
not
should.
muted.
Covered that base sooner, but
And I forgot. And like, I have all these in my head before we start, but I'm always gonna forget one thing or the other.
just wanna
Alex
put it.
Haas is doing streaming tonight, so it's another burden we push on you. So.
Yeah, just
Well,
for the
I'm not.
record,
I'm not leading
Alex
things
pretty much
this week,
does.
so.
Atrix does pretty much everything for this show, so we ask our viewership to have some leniency with him.
I was just like, I can play Cuphead this week at least. So at least there's that.
I played like one level of Cuphead, but I don't own it myself, and
Check it
it's
out.
an intense game. Yeah,
A little bit.
it has the thing that is not my favorite about video games is just like where you hit an enemy again and again and like they have no reaction damage
Ah,
and I get because of the way they animated that game it would be
Right.
very hard and time consuming to implement that, but it's like it's hard to tell if they have a shield phase and you have to wait till something's up and open to
Yeah.
attack them, or if all the animations are just lacking some sort of hit effect.
He looks pretty hit right now.
Well, there's like the living and dead animations on Cuphead, right?
yeah.
And
But
that's
yeah, check this game out, or
Mhm.
don't. It can
music's
be tough.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
All right,
that,
well, I'd say we get into the topic of
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah, let's get
absolutely.
into the meat and potatoes.
I hit this
Undermine
bomb.
Pico.
So late. Are they good for the scene, or are they bad for the scene?
Blades.
Can't live
No.
without them.
I think they're
I mean-
essential. I think, yeah, you can't live without them. That's for sure. You gotta have lathes, and there's a lot of positive shit that they bring to the
Mhm.
table. Lathes.
I remember the first time I bought a lathe was this like Midwestern emo band at a house show, and they were selling a record. I really liked them when I saw them. I'd never seen them before or heard their music, and they were selling a record for $50, and I was like, that's kind of weird. But I bought it because like I wanted to support them. And I got home and I listened to it, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? This is just like a terrible, terrible lathe. And that was my first experience with lathes and the listening process surrounding them. So I can't say I got onto a good foot with lathes in general. But you know, what does anyone else have any experiences such as that? Expecting lathes or not expecting them?
My first lathe was the Toe Jam and Earl lathe, and that was fine enough. And my second lathe was the Select Start Princess Peach one, and
How was that?
that's so good. I don't think like there was no break in between the songs.
Oh really?
It's just 3-minute loops of not every song, but like random songs from the game, for better
So
or
they
for
just
worse.
downloaded it from KH Insider because for, like,
Precisely.
portable games,
Yeah.
all the uploads are 3-minute uploads.
Exactly. And they threw some darts at a board and they
Yep.
figured it out.
I have never listened to a Select Start release besides
Me
the
either.
Super Mario World pressing, but I've not listened to any of their lathes.
I don't think I did
own
before
a
then.
couple of the lathes.
Which
Oh.
ones
They're
do you own,
really,
Pico?
really bad. I own the first 3 or 2, I think. The Sonic, the Zelda, and then I own their Game Boy catalog, which is pure fucking ass.
Oh, I'm not
Recently
surprised.
today, I saw they posted
It's
a.
not a good indication for fucking.
They made another original trilogy posting today.
Okay.
Which who knows how many times they've done that, but
They can never
original
stop.
trilogy shipping today. I'd love to see it.
Select
So do
Start,
you just
if you're listening, when are you quitting?
So do you just hold on to the lathes, the Select Start lathes, Pico, because you like torturing yourself, or like you just
You can't ethically get rid of it.
you just toss it in the trash can?
Oh, I think you might be cutting out,
A
Pico.
little bit. Did we lose Pico? Did we lose the host? Right while he was about to say something?
Oh no.
So I thought this is like an art piece at this point, and like what
Oh.
it represents SSR. Like I like having it on my shelf.
Okay.
It's like a story, you know. Like at
Mhm.
this point, it's so shitty. Like you gotta have it. Like Wolfenstein, that cover, it's so fucking bad, but like
So
it's
funny.
hilarious to have in your collection. Wind Waker, at this point, if I didn't have one, I would buy one because I want to be a part of the bullshit.
Yeah, I almost
So-
bought one of their tapes too. Their Owendon tapes. But then I heard they were some of the
SSR have
worst.
tapes?
Yeah.
Oh, SSR had tapes, but then their fucking product code is SST, which I guess he's never listened to punk music because that's already a record label.
You expect Select Start to do research.
No.
Smart.
So there's a certain like legacy aspect for like certain lathes. It
I
would
died.
seem like. I don't know. Does that apply to everything? I mean, like, I imagine a lot of
No.
people have like collector's mentality, and
Right.
they want to have it all, and that's just clearly like an impossibility with lathes, especially ones that are done, as one-offs or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 offs, just for like a small group of people. So I don't know.
When it comes to
Any-
those, I especially hate when they're added to like Discogs.
Oh yeah, that's something I can't stand. I think is not okay or good.
Well, yeah, let's get into that a little. What low number
What's the number?
creates like super FOMO? Like, if it's like 5 and 10 and it's a little obtainable, does that create like the ultimate FOMO for the release?
I feel like no, that low number leads it to being like that was their project. That was just a little fun.
That's like friends.
Right.
But like, when does it become like business model? Like 50?
I think 50 is probably like a safe amount. I don't know
It's
anything about getting
obtainable.
things like press, but you probably need like at least 100.
So I did some research for this podcast on making
Whoa.
lathes. If we're gonna get into it, like I really want
A
to,
first.
I really want to get into it. Like, I don't want to come off as incendiary. I'd like to have a really good conversation about why I don't appreciate lathes, but that they could also be positive. And like, there's a lot of cool things with lathes. Like, any kind of DIY project you do yourself in a community is like fun. Seeing someone's fan art, that's just like
It's the spirit of
cool
the
ass
whole
shit.
hobby, like in a lot
Yeah,
of ways.
it makes
Yeah.
community. So I feel like admonishing fucking lathes like hardcore isn't the right way to go about it, I guess. but it's it's when you make money and profit off that shit.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
when does it become like a business model?
when you talk about business models, do you feel like it is necessarily intended as or necessarily a business venture, whether intended or not, after a certain quantity, or you know who is to decide or say like at what point it becomes a business venture as opposed to just like a hobbyist's like
Fun little
you know
project.
yeah, for their
Yeah.
friends or whoever.
I mean,
Very
that's a
good.
good point.
That is a good
But I do
question.
think like there's a lot of work shipping and getting it made for 50 copies, like getting 50 customers. I feel like you're a fucking business at that point.
Yeah.
And with lathes, like it's not the same when you get extra copies from your like plant when you press. You
Right.
gotta buy extra copies, like if shit goes missing or if it goes bad, it doesn't like one of them doesn't sound good. Like I feel like you're stuck with a lathe when you get them cut. Like you're stuck with that. Whatever they
Yeah.
give you, the cutter, and they're at the hands of their cutter, I would say.
We've seen releases in this community that from lathes that end up being bad or going missing, and then people don't have replacements for them for their customers, and that's a pretty
Yeah, that's really
bad
shitty.
look, and especially if it's someone who's new to the scene, finding their way into a release like that, it just sort of hurts the image of everything.
Right.
And it's
I
like
think another
know
thing
there's
where good.
it's like I know there's not that huge a profit margin on lathes. Like even if you charge $50 for it, it's like you're not really baking that much. Like one lost copy means if you're a good business person, you have to eat that cost out of pocket. Hopefully you've made enough profit in other sales that have made it to customers to not have to be a dick about that. But it's a bad business model if you want to make money.
From what I looked up, like for a low quality lathe, like SSR quality, it's like $40. And then if you want like something that's like really nice, high quality, and you're able to sell, it's like upwards of $60. So like if you're trying to even make a $10 profit on that, you gotta charge your customers $70 plus shipping. That's for a lathe.
Yeah, certainly
Like not viable.
seems difficult. I mean, at a certain point, if I suppose it is worth considering going to pressing at a certain volume. If it's going to cost anywhere from $30 to $50, or maybe less if it's a totally shitty. But per release or per record, at 50 to 100 lathes, like you're getting to
Might as well just press that.
costs where like pressings are almost similar.
If not cheaper.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you're thinking in terms of press, like a rough estimate, like, and this is probably like highballing it, like $20 a copy, and at this $60 a copy. That's for you, the person, like direct for you. How crazy is that?
What were some of the benefits you were thinking of when you were talking about them before, Pico? You had mentioned that there's things about it, including like the fan art itself, that you think are appreciable about it.
Well, when you think any sort of community, like any kind of DIY, let's say you love Pokemon and someone made like a handmade Pokemon, like that's always cool to see. And like the people who are making these lathes for themselves, they're actually producing one, and that's fucking cool. Like making your own vinyl is just like a super cool thing, and there's literally nothing wrong with that. Making yourself something super cool, but then it gets in the intent. What do you do with it? Like no matter what, if you put it online, you're showing off. But it's like, what is your intent? Like I love this. Like you say, you put it in the main, like, and I love this. Like people, no matter what, are gonna take that as like, oh, you're being a show off. Like that's something we could never have. But that wasn't your intent at all. And it's just like, what is it about the lathe that like just makes everybody go crazy?
But and the thing about lathes too is it's not something that no one can ever have. Like it's Of course, it depends on the quality you want, but you could pull everything off of KH Insider and get some clip art from the internet and have it
Easily.
sent off and made for you. You know, like, and so that part's kind of cool about it. And it seems like you don't see a lot of people do that after, you know, these posts come up in Maine. Like, maybe occasionally, but like people get interested, but then they'll see it's delayed and they maybe might not care anymore. They're like, oh, it's not like a pressing, it's not accessible widely, like, and it's just delayed, so I'm not going to go through the trouble of making one
Right.
myself.
Well, in all reality, they probably get bombarded with hate comments, and then their DMs blow up like, "Make me one, make me one, make me one."
Right.
And I
Oh,
think the FOMO and I think the collecting aspect is the toxic part of the lathes. Like, you have a Zelda 1, right? And then another lathe label's like, I don't like that Zelda 1. I'm going to make another Zelda 1. And then a third lathe label comes around and they're like, look how fucking easy this is. I'm going to make a Zelda 1. So
And
now
mine's
you-
going to have a screen print on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and-
saw how much that screen print one was
Yeah.
making
And
people
now
go
one
crazy.
may be better than the other, but then you get the collector toxic part about it. And it's like, no, I need to own all 3 of these small run of 50 lathe Zelda 1s. And then let's say a pressing gets announced, Zelda 1, and you're like, I already have 3 fucking copies of this. I'm not excited for this.
And I have
Like,
the Moonshake test pressing I spent $2,500 on.
Totally. Like, before the whole scene blew up and I just collected regular vinyl, I used to dream about Earthbound on vinyl. Like, I used to talk about it with my friends. How cool would this be? Like, before any of VGM vinyl. And when that shit is announced, it was magic for me. That Kickstarter, I was jumped all over it, mother.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then Earthbound came right after. It was great. And I feel like you saturate the market with lathes, and that becomes a problem too. Like, the magic gets taken out of a pressing because there's already so many X amount of lathes made.
I hadn't really thought about it that way before.
It's not bad right now, okay? Obviously, there's some backlash for lathes. People are like a little hesitant because of the reputation that SSR puts out. But the second a lathe label comes along and does it right, it's gonna just blow it up. And
Yeah.
the reasoning why is because it's not as illegal or it's not as dangerous or the risk isn't as much, which is a total bullshit reason. But there will be a point where if lathes are, I don't know the word, if eventually it's going to be saturated if lathes are like the norm. If everybody starts being like, yeah, lathes are fucking awesome, I love lathe lasers, let's support all these lathe labels, the whole market will get saturated.
Do you think that's inherently negative?
It's
Absolutely,
just
because
for me, I think it's the track record of the lathe scene, and like SSR, of course, left a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
Yeah, it's easy to point to them for sure.
Right. And then we kind of see these half-ass lathes that are being sold with like stolen art and stuff.
Yeah.
And that
Like
continues
low
that streak.
DPI pressings and just
Yeah.
but they still sell, and they still get all the dick sucking in the DMs. It's all the label clout and none of the risk.
Yeah.
What
and-
about
People will still be like, I don't care how bad it is, literally take all my money. Let me
What about-
pre-order something 2 years away.
not saying something's a lathe when it's posted to Maine?
oh, that's horrible. Well,
Who was calling
That's
lathes pressing? One label was doing that. They're like, our lathe pressing is coming back.
I don't think we could say, but I don't remember it either. But
Oh, you don't have to say. I think I know who it is. I'm just talking shit.
yeah, but I get what you mean.
Let's get someone on here.
I,
Let's get someone on
yeah,
here.
Bring
Talk
someone
about
in.
fucking lathes with us.
The voice
Okay.
of
Come
Who in the
fight,
fucking
Pico.
reading room is the most pro fucking lathe person?
I do have a comment to just say. So I was reading the stream chat, and NP Slavin mentioned, I honestly didn't even know about lathes until I got into VGM vinyl, and I've been collecting since 2000. And it's just like, I think the reason why that happens is like lathes used to just be small pressing or small runs, if at any, and wait times for vinyl turnaround was vinyl turnaround wasn't as expensive as it is today, and it wasn't as long as it is today. So
Yeah.
I do worry in the future, if it gets even more saturated, that lathes are going to be more commonplace.
Yeah, that's a really real concern with final turnaround times right now.
Absolutely.
I'd also
I mean,
just like to
there's always a
say I
benefit.
don't mind lathes personally, but
But a run of 50 lathes, isn't it the same amount of time? Like, what's the turnaround for them cutting it one at a time? 50 to 100.
yeah.
I know
hard
it's a
to
lot
say.
shorter, but because there's less demand in lathe making. I imagine if the demand was even half as much as vinyl demand, then they would be overburdened and unable to keep up with even like the 6 to 8 month vinyl turnaround time that's
And
going
Yeah.
on now.
each copy makes longer to make. Like, there's like the Adele like 500K pressing
Shouts out
of
Adele.
vinyl that just got, and I mean that couldn't get done with lathes. Obviously, it's just not going to happen. Like the time commitment
Adele
would
gets
just be.
lathes.
All right, I brought in Cosmic Rad for some lathe discussion.
Is currently
That's
muted.
Mike on
If you would
mute.
like to enjoy the conversation with us,
Hey, sorry guys.
That's
you're
fine.
good.
Hey, Norn.
Hey,
So what do you think about all this lathe hullabaloo?
I've kind of got the same impression that MP does. Like, I'm not well versed with lathes, but from just watching some of them pop up in Maine, I've I've been kind of struck by how some people can be really, really angry about it showing up sometimes.
For sure.
I I kind of agree with Pico a little bit when I see, like, I don't know if the art was stolen or not. I didn't go that deep into it, but I saw like a Witcher 3 one pop up. It might have been in Maine or it might have been in the other game vinyl group, and it was just like a Siri cover with her in a red background, and I think it was some of the Witcher 3 game or songs that never got pressed to the regular wide release from Space Lab. And I thought, okay, that's kind of cool, because like the guy even said pretty much, it's like, yeah, I just missed some of the songs that they didn't have. I liked that idea behind it, I guess.
Super cool. I would love a Witcher 3 songs that weren't included in the Witcher 3 vinyl.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
gonna DM that guy with another 100 people.
Hey, can I
Well,
get one
yeah.
of those lathes real quick?
yeah, and I think that he was kind of having to address that, because like a lot of the comments that you guys were talking about were like, oh man, what's that? Where can I get it? It was just like, and the guy was like pretty chill about it in the comments, if I remember. He was just like, yeah, man, I just made it because like some of the songs that I liked in the game weren't in the regular release, and that was kind of it, just for him.
I think it's funny to not tell people that it's a lathe, is what I've decided actually.
People go
Yeah.
wild, man, and then they think they like missed out on someone who's in every group still gets anxiety about that shit, and it's like, oh my god, is there a group I'm not in?
I think
Oh
that's-
yeah.
That's why it's funny. That's what I determined. Oh, but it is a relief when you see something. You're like, "Damn, I really want that," and you're like, "Oh,
it's a
just
lathe."
a lathe." It's not like, "Oh,
Well, it's-
I'm not gonna think about that ever again."
Yeah.
For real.
And like, whenever it comes to like a single person making something, I don't give a shit if you're stealing art. It's whenever you're selling it.
Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
to like,
who fucking cares?
you're
Making
right.
a profit off someone else's art is total bullshit. That's for sure.
Which, of course, we recognize. There's a great irony in saying that in this community.
Yeah,
but-
100%. I do
but
think-
it's different,
I
you know.
do think-
It's not stealing from Nintendo. You're stealing from someone on fucking DeviantArt or fucking
Yeah.
whatever else. You know, like there's a clear, like, defined line, like separating those two things.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think anyone has like chastised SSR for like the Sonic 2 like stealing that cover art, you know. But it's like if he stole someone's personal recreation of Sonic and Tails, or that would be a whole
Right.
different thing.
I'd be
Comment-
fucking pissed if some of my art ended up on a release that made money and I didn't make any money, and then I go on eBay and I see that shit selling for hundreds of fucking dollars.
It's like,
Mhm.
I feel like this scene likes to support small artists, and like a lot of the bootleg
Hell
scene
yeah.
is about small artists. Even if you could see bootlegs as a small artist kind of thing. Because at the end of the day,
At this point, if you want a cover that's not drawn by Drew Wise, you have to buy a bootleg.
Exactly.
Or a cover that turns out like Silent Hill 3 and 4 did.
Oh god, those were terrible. Yeah.
I need more Wolfenstein shitty covers.
But it's memorable at this point.
It is. There's
At this point, I love my piece of shit Crash album.
It's about the memories. It's about Crash Core.
It's a meme. It's a meme album for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's another good content for Lathe, is like making a meme album.
I think that's the perfect venue for that.
Yeah. I love that pizza release. Pizza time.
Spider-Man in the Resident Evil basement.
Yeah, so good.
So dumb.
I guess that's more Lathes than I own.
Yeah. Turns out you own a bunch of lathes.
Yeah, shit, I'm a huge Lathe fan. it turns out.
I once made a lathe for a band I was in a while ago, and I put
For
the newest
shame.
EP that we made on it, and then the last tracks were like the piece of shit first EP that I made, and I just threw on there to fill up space. And the new good one that was mastered in the studio sounded like pure fucking ass. But then the 3 songs that I mixed on the shittiest monitors known to man, like
Blended right
when you were a
in.
kid, did you have one of those like cassette CD players that were like silver and it was giant and it had like silver big ass speakers?
Like a boombox type beat.
It was like really
How old are
90s
you?
and there was like cassettes on it, like CDs. You could put CDs in the top and it was just big. It was just very cumbersome. But it was not good. It was not like a nice thing. They were very cheap. They were just big. But I mixed on those shitty ass fucking speakers, and those sounded amazing on the Lathe, like fucking amazing. They're so good. I was so impressed. I was like, wow, this sounds so fucking good.
Hey, at heart, I'm a lo-fi guy. I can respect some intentionally done lo-fi. Usually.
Purposely
I guess my
put the
biggest
vinyl
gripe
noise
with
on.
the low quality lathes is when you blast it. I'm like someone that has to like listen to it at like very high volumes, and it just deteriorates its sound as it gets
Yeah.
up in high volumes.
Mhm.
Norin, did you have any other thoughts about the topics at hand?
Do you own
Um,
any lathes?
What's your
I
dream
don't-
lathe, Warren?
Dream lathe.
Like if you had a one-off
Ma-
lathe, you could just show in everybody's face.
Yeah, if you got to make your own lathe, what would it be?
God, I'd have to.
What's just a game soundtrack you wish you could have and it was just yours?
That it was just mine. Hmm.
If you say Fire Emblem, it'll really piss off Pico.
No.
I want a
'Cause
Fire
then no
Emblem
one else,
lathe, I'm not gonna
no one
lie.
else can get Fire Emblem on vinyl.
I have a Fire Emblem Piano Stories, and like it's the only Fire Emblem I've ever seen ever, and it was a lathe, and I just had to get it.
Another lathe in the collection. Weird, isn't it?
Toxic collecting.
Oh, well, I guess maybe even though the game has got a crap reputation on it right now, like some of the Cyberpunk 2077 stuff. Yeah, like
That's fair.
I guess that, but like,
Yeah, that would have some badass art.
yeah, I think that was kind of what I was thinking. I was like, I would probably get it more for the art than for some of the songs, but there are some of the like, if you could just make an album full of the music that they did for the fake band in the game, that would be kind of interesting at least, and that's pretty good music.
Would there be anything more cyberpunk than doing terrible art for a
Right, yeah.
It would be
That's what they
perfect.
want.
Or you go like
I don't-
hyper stylized for Cyberpunk and have like the Cyberpunk logo like die cut, so that when you pull it out, it's got an inner sleeve and one of the characters in it.
Oh yeah, you could. Oh yeah, that actually. Yeah. But yeah, that's probably the one I'd pick for that one, I guess. I don't know how I'd feel about throwing it in everybody's face, because that would probably that's another one where it'd be like everybody would be like, "Where'd you get this? Like, where can I get it?" It's just like, come on, man, just
I just want to show you this little thing I got.
yeah.
It's a huge hit of dopamine. Trust me, you want it.
Yeah, you gotta say something. Eat my ass, fuckers, and then post it.
Just throwing that "it's classified" gif
Oh,
on the reply line.
we love
Oof.
it.
We love
You
it.
could say "will trade for bacon." You could say "found in a dumpster." These
Oh,
are
the
very
classic
common
standbys.
explanations.
Make sure
Still
your feet are
very
in it.
funny.
Oh my
Honestly, though, you probably could find one in a dumpster.
But not Pico's. He holds on to this.
Yeah,
Seriously, I
learned a
couldn't
lot
throw it
here.
away. Jesus. If I saw like a homeless person with it in their collection, I would instantly regret getting rid of it. All right, we're gonna drop you out, Norin, and we're gonna
Yeah,
send some
thanks
other
for-
people
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank you
having
for
me in for a
joining
second. Yeah.
Someone fight
I wanted-
Pico.
I wanted to
Let's get
to
some spicy
inquire,
take.
Atrix.
Oh.
I noticed you have a melee background for your the stream
do.
tonight.
Yeah.
What was the thought process behind this?
1v1 fight Pico.
Oh.
No items.
Box only, maybe.
That's up to you.
Yeah, is it time for an ad break?
Is it
Yeah,
time?
that's a good point.
We have an ad break lined up here.
A casual one. The budget's in the works. Is the sponsors in the waiting room?
Yeah.
Someone pull him in.
And we got the sponsors here with us.
Hi there.
Take it away, sponsor.
Hey there, it's yours truly, Ara Captor, founder and owner of the Bad John Boot Shop. And we're the proud sponsors for tonight's VGM for All podcast episode. Missing out on all the hot releases from your scummy boot groups that you're not a part of? At the Bad John Boot Shop, we got all the little, medium, and big cartel links for your hard-earned money can buy. Just for tonight, we're doing an in-store only special. Buy 3 links, get 1 free. So come on down to the Bad John Boot Shop located on 420 West 69th Street. Just a few blocks down from the big-ass haunted mansion.
Oh, get him out of here. Get him out of here.
3 links, get 1
Thank
free.
you,
That's
sponsors.
a Triforce of deals.
It is.
Truly. The big ass deal.
Why don't we I see AC popped in the waiting room. Why don't we pull him in?
Yeah.
I know he's a fan with some good
1v1.
opinions.
Hey,
Howdy, AC.
Hello, straight from Brazil.
Hi.
Is this the first time you've gotten on live?
Yeah, it's the first time.
Okay.
Great
now
to
in-
be here. Yeah,
You're
to
That's
be
really
here.
podcast.
exciting.
Yeah, the podcast just became international now.
Yeah.
Love it. The sponsors love it.
Yeah, I've waited for like some few podcasts for us to be international. Now we can
Now we
have
got
this
it.
conversation. So the subject is Lathe.
Yes, tell us about your opinion.
Your
on
experience with them.
that.
Yeah, I have some experience because it always started with the Zelda 25 anniversary. It was my favorite CD ever. I remember when I was really young and I got the Skyward and it came with the CD.
Yeah.
And every time I was with my parents, or even when I had my first car when I was 18, here in Brazil is 18 for you to know, 18 years.
You're blasting that soundtrack.
Yeah, I blast that soundtrack. And when I enter into vinyls, the first thing I always wanted was this record. And nobody ever did it. And then I got into some research to do my own. And I came across, the one cut vinyl.
Yeah.
They're pretty high end and got some good references. I believe Anthony TRP gave me some reference from it, and also Frank. And I said, well, if Frank said they're good, they're good. And then I did the first project. It was the Zelda 25, and I mean, I have a lot of records here, boots and official ones. And when it came to me, uh, I'm not an audiophile, like said to Pico today too, but I enjoyed a lot. I mean, I know that it sounds really better than Ozeki. Not that this is a compliment or anything, but yeah, but it sounds really, really good. And then I started to do a few others with the same cutter and with another cutter that I'm doing projects now with another member, and I'm having a good time with it because I believe lights are passionate projects. I mean, not only personal, but if I decide to do one and I have a couple friends or even 10 friends that
Yeah.
want to have one and want to pay the price, I mean, it doesn't hurt, and it's good.
Yeah, I heard a stream of what was it? The Symphony of the Goddesses. Is that one you did?
Yeah, I
I
did. I have 4 lates. I did the 3 Zelda concerts, the 25, the 30, and the last one that was premiered in 2017 to promote the Breath of the Wild. And I did the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood late too, since it's my favorite anime.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
You're
I-
able
So
to
that
make something that you didn't see happening and make it your own, exactly how you wanted it to be too.
Yeah, and I was pretty happy with the outcome of it. Like I said, the quality is up there for me. And after that, I got some lates from a certain member that he didn't send to me, and includes Zelda piano and other Zelda stuff. And I enjoy it a lot. And the quality is up there for me. I can't tell the difference between my late and some of the best groups records, to be honest.
That's
I
some high
did get
praise.
to. I was lucky enough to hear a stream of that Symphony of the Goddesses one time, and it did sound. excuse me. It did sound incredibly good, which surprised me because I
We're used to that negative connotation.
yeah.
Yeah, and we have a lot because Select Start, trademark of love. We had some shitty lates that
Exactly.
came into the scene and with a lot of volume. That so a lot of people had this one, and it totally made the lates in general be some kind of shit. But that's not true. If you have the good cutter, and if you do a project, it will not be the average price that we are used to pay for one LP.
Right.
But it's a way for you to have something that you really want and nobody is doing it. So if you want to have this on wax, it's the best opportunity.
Do you have any experience or opinions on other lathes that are of a less high caliber? Any feelings on them?
Yeah. Well, I unfortunately have one of Ozeki Lates. It sucks. To be honest, it completely sucks. And I've listened to not in my hands, but to some streams for Select Start and other lates, and you can tell the difference. The difference is there, but I mean, I don't know because I'm not the right person for you to ask this because uh, I'm not a audio. I don't know how to say in English, but an audiophile person.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So just to have a spinning record with a song that I like, for me, it's good.
That's enough.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
enough for you.
that's enough, and I believe that should be. I mean, we have a problem with Select Start because they suck in quality and they suck in transparency with the
Just
public.
Select Start's a
So
whole beast. We could do probably a
yeah,
whole episode on.
yeah,
Three-part investigative series.
totally.
You can check it out on HBO.
So I don't know if you guys have some lates, especially VGM lates, but what I can tell is from my own. What I did is if you have a good mastering, since it's essential for a
Yeah,
good lathe.
I think that's a thing that people don't
yeah.
seem to take into account. You don't just grab some MP3s or YouTube MP3s and submit it and call it a day.
Yeah,
My-
and you
my
don't download music
understanding-
from Kingdom Hearts Insider, you
Yeah.
know.
My understanding is the mastering process is different between lathes and vinyl records, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. I don't do the mastering. I have no idea how to do so. For example, when I did the lates with one cut, I made a kind of mistake because I asked them to do the mastering. It's perfect, but it's so expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. So now with new projects that I'm putting up, personal projects for the near future, I'm having another person to do the master. That's the same
Yeah.
person that did some of the other collates that I own. But yeah, mastering is really important in the lates, and it's different from pressings as far as I know.
Do you have any? Does anyone have any questions for each other with this? Because I know Pico, you've been a little quiet.
Oh, I'm just really
Yeah.
high. But also, I agree. I agree, and I like hearing someone passionately talk about their lathes.
Yeah.
So I can get on that. Small scale lathes for yourself, for a small group of friends. It's a cool ass project. My
Yeah,
question is, we were talking about how we think that when people post lathes to the main, they get a lot of messages in their DMs of like people asking them to like make them one. Like
Oh,
when
I
you
know.
posted your ones to the main, did you
Yeah.
get a shitload of DMs?
I messaged AC when he posted his one of his. I was like, damn, what the fuck, man? What is this?
yeah. I got a lot of messages because of the late, and always there's the message like, "Oh, how did you do this? This is a new boot release, or did it for yourself?" And then there are some questions like, "Oh, can you send me the files and the art for me to do my own?" And I was like, depends on the person, of course, but usually,
Right.
well, no, we never talked before, and you're asking for all the work that I did. Like, it all depends, but
it's still work.
What's
yeah,
that?
because the files, to do the mastering, you have to. It's not for free, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you never know. Like, if someone's out there that would press like 50 of those lathes because you gave them the source files, and then just sell them, like that could honestly happen. And I feel like
100%.
SSR is a little bit responsible for doing that. Like, a lot of people helped him out with some of his first releases, and he just presses them infinitely or cuts them infinitely and makes so much profit off of them. It's wild.
Yeah, that's real. And in terms of the late labels, I believe it's a subject here today. I mean, I'm totally against the select start and this kind of labels to lack of transparency with the public. But if we have a full transparency with the customer and all the subjects, everything that's going on, and we have a transparency with the price, with the quality and everything, people can choose if they want to buy it or if they don't want to buy it, and then it's not a scam or anything, because I believe a select start is much more a scam than anything else. But if you think about another late label, I mean, oh, it's I don't know, 40 $60 for one LP. It's a game that you want, that you like, and you can afford it and you want it. Okay, no one is to blame you. You can have it and have some fun. And the people that are doing it, they are doing it with love if they have the transparency and all the communication with the clients, the public. But in terms of select start and those other labels, we're talking mostly about late, but I will include Ozeki because I need to include the kind of transparency that he lacks with his audience. That's terrible. So
What
I
a fall
mean, if
from
it's
grace.
pressing or if it's late, it depends much more on the customer and in the this transparency thing with the label, in my opinion.
Mhm.
We have talked about like the feasibility of if so-called labels were able to provide, you know, masters and art to people to press at their will, whether it be for a small fee or free or whatever. But that is something I think Alex mentioned that's interesting to consider, is if people would, go as far as to like do their own runs of, you know, 40 or 50 or whatever of them. But in a sense, if people were, you could create some sort of database or something of these releases that people could make on their own, it
Yeah,
would
that's
sort of, stop that proliferation happening after the fact, because people may, could just do
Yeah,
it at their own whim. Of
yeah,
course,
and
if you're having your release professionally mastered, as you're talking about, there is, some sort of consideration of compensation that would probably want to be considered.
yeah,
yeah, and
Pico. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you can go on, Alex. Please.
Oh, I was just gonna say Pico has mentioned more than a few times about like mastering a lathe and like getting all the art assets and everything, and then just selling the digital files for like $5 for someone to do themselves. And I think
Yeah.
that's quite a novel concept.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know why, but yeah, that's
I,
totally weird. And
Well,
I
just
don't
mean
have
like
the
in terms
balls
of
to do the pressing for just to be honest with you guys. So the lates that I did, all of them with one cut, it's under their law of what they can do, the number of copies that they can do, and you need to own the official media. So I had to buy the Zelda 25 years concert. I had the CD, but I had to buy the CD of the 30th anniversary in the 2017, just to be some proof that I have the source media, so they can do 2 to 3 copies of each. So they are under the law of the UK. So that's what I do. I don't have the balls
basically
to
like
do more.
it's like a copying of your physical media, so like they can
Ah,
do it
I guess so.
with the 3 copies. Is that what the law is?
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. They can do 2 copies, I believe. I just did 2.
It
I
almost
didn't
sounds
ask
like
for more for any.
the
And you
ROM
need to
argument.
own the source material. So if you own the source material under the UK law, you can do it for personal purpose. And it's exactly what I did. So
Interesting.
That's cool. So you literally can't even do my idea then.
oh no, I
Of a
can't.
community. No, I just mean like in terms like a lot of people won't be able to do it. And the more I think about it, the more I think cease and desist, because now you're like running a ROM site with like hundreds of
Right.
releases.
Right.
It becomes very similar to that.
Yeah, and it's pretty much it, because I mean, you can do those personal lates, or you can do a larger run of lates if you want, but then you have the liability against you, of course, and you can do the boots that everybody knows what's going on. And so I prefer to do this personal lates for me, because I don't have the balls at all, but for me it works. It works because I have the record that I want. I love those orchestral Zelda. So, and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, if anyone watched it here or didn't, it's for me one of the best soundtracks of anime in the history. And so for me it worked really well. So that's why I'm really passionate about lates, and we usually talk about lates, and 95% of the time it's about bad lates, which they exist much more than the good lates. But I believe we need to tell everyone that, we can't tell that all the lates sucks. It's not like that. It all depends. I don't know in terms of a business plan if you want to do more lates, but there are good lates around for sure.
This map. Yeah. There's so much potential, and like it gets wasted sometimes, and I don't know. There's so many things.
It's even like with pressings though. Like
Yeah.
one bad thing can cast a terrible shadow. Like across everything else. Like I don't know, like
Absolutely.
for an obvious example, like something like Wind Waker is someone's first, introduction to,
See,
bootleg vinyl pressings. You're gonna be like, damn, this shit sucks. Like people
covered
are
in
ripping off
Oh,
this
yeah.
music,
Yeah.
making money off of it, and like creating a terrible product. And so it's certainly not isolated to lathes by any measure.
Yeah, and I totally understand that because before I joined the main, because before I knew all of this was a thing, I bought a Wind Waker, the blue one, on eBay for almost $200, and I thought, because I had no idea about this scene at all, that it was official. All of them were official, and it was kind of interesting for me. But yeah, I paid almost $200 for Wind Waker, and now I see the garbage that it is.
Yeah.
And fortunately, at least the blue one sounds slightly better than the other ones. That's totally garbage, but even so, it's shit.
Right, you lucked out there. But I also feel like a lot of us have made mistakes and bought something expensive on eBay before we were into the scene or into the Facebook. Just like,
Yes, just stay away. Just stay away
Yeah.
from eBay.
It's pretty much the ritual to join the main. First, you need to do a mistake in eBay, then you have the path.
You'll know.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people that I talked to, they always have an history about, oh, I made such a mistake in eBay before joining the group.
Yeah. I bought a Smash Bros off eBay. That was one of my earlier boots.
Yeah, so everybody have those stories. And for me, it was interesting because I thought that everything was official. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm getting the Wind Waker,
The official
same way
Wind Waker.
that,
Yeah.
just like Hero of Time was.
Yeah.
It is official, yeah, but now it's Wind Waker, and it was like, oh my god, it's happening.
It's hard to say how much better of a job Nintendo would do.
It is.
Yeah.
I think they would.
They probably would do like 3 tracks per side, and
Call it a day.
yeah, probably.
You're gonna press as much as booters do. Runs at 250, 500,
That'd be insane.
one-time pressings.
No,
Does
and
anyone have first-hand knowledge about either the Cadence of Hyrule or the Splatoon 2? Like how those sound?
No,
Splatoon
didn't know.
does sound good, but there's only like 1 or 2 tracks on it.
Uh-huh.
What about the Xenoblade one? I want that so bad. Listeners,
yeah,
just posted that
listening,
today.
and you got a Xenoblade. Slide
But
in my DMs.
yeah, but that's kind of easier to find, right, Pico? In my opinion,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
Because it
comparatively.
came
Have a
in
big
like the
pressing.
special edition in the UK.
It's the picture disc you're talking about, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's.
So I
There's a
guess
cool
Splatoon
lathe
is
of
like
it,
the
too.
rarest because it was like a promo copy to like people doing reviews.
I think it was just, or which one?
Splatoon 2
That
or
sounds
just
right.
Splatoon 1. I think it was promo copies. And then Cadence was what? Contest winners?
Yeah. on
Yeah,
Twitter.
I believe
Twitter
there are
Twitter giveaway.
25 or 50 copies
That one's
only.
insane.
Is that actually pressing? I don't know. I mean, I know it's
Yeah.
listed as such, but it's hard to
It is,
believe.
but I believe they have like 3 or 4 tracks per side, or even less. I
Wow.
believe it's two on the first side, 2 on the other side. And one fun fact is, I didn't do this late, but I have a late of the Cadence of Hyrule, and it's not a copycat of the Nintendo one. It's full of tracks, so we have like probably 12 to 14 tracks of the game. So even a late, it's a better job than Nintendo. So this is interesting to share.
I've heard good things. I talked to one person who has Cadence, like out of 25 pressing, but sadly their jacket was destroyed.
Oh my god.
Which is just
my
like
God.
so heartbreaking.
No, that's terrible. And there's a fun fact about late that there exists the Persona 5 dancing / 3 dancing. That's a late, official late by Atlus.
Yeah.
3-4.
Weren't the labels like backwards? One of
Yeah.
those things is.
Yeah, yeah. The labels are backwards in all of them. It's
Awesome.
they they did the lathe wrong with the art, and that's it. But it's pretty rare, and I believe someone posted a copy in the main at some time, and it's interesting because it's an official company that decided to do a lathe instead of
Yeah.
pressing.
That is interesting.
I never
So I guess-
listened to it, so I have no idea what's the quality, but I would like to own the Persona 5 dancing as a late, even.
Sure.
It's
I just like
5 and
Persona.
3, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Those were the
And
two
4,
games they
4
were
is
doing.
the actual pressing.
yeah. But
Yeah.
the side A, you have the 3, but you have the inner
5
label of
sticker.
5.
You'll love to see it.
Incredible work.
You talk to get Nintendo on here, fucking whoever, about
How do you
making
mess this up?
label lathes Atlas.
Hey, Doug Bowser. I need your thoughts on lathes.
So long, Bowser.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
Well, much apprecited.
yeah,
It's
thanks.
nice to have
Yeah.
your perspective on here.
Absolutely.
AC.
Well, thanks for having me here. Such an honor. We had an international
Yeah.
podcast for some time.
Thanks for coming on and talking about lathes.
Sure. When we do a
Thanks, AC.
Zelda team,
We've
when
talked
we do a
about
Zelda
it, so
team, you can send me an invitation again to share
Absolutely.
about Zelda.
We'll be sure to.
So thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Have a good night.
thanks for coming
Good to
on.
see.
Yeah.
You have a good night.
Bye bye.
Shouts out. So,
All right. So overall, what did we learn? What did we learn about lathes today?
you have a lot of lathes.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
pretty
I have
all
like
learned.
5 or 6. I didn't even realize that. I definitely have like 5 or 6 blades. I
Those
only
were-
listened to the Fire Emblem piano one, and it's not good. It's really poppy. But I listened to it just because I love fucking Fire Emblem.
Yeah. It's about that personal touch with them lathes.
No Fire Emblem boots yet. Final boots.
One
I don't
day.
know. I don't think people like fucking Fire Emblem.
Come on.
There's
People
no
I'm gonna
shot
blame it
at
on Smash.
That's
Hey,
true.
hear my theory out. I'm gonna blame it on Smash, okay? Because
Too many sword
there's like
fighters.
10 characters in Smash, and it's
No,
all
it-
sword fighters, and people were like Roy and Marth, and they just don't like Fire Emblem. I don't know.
Smash literally introduced Fire Emblem to the West, more or less.
Yeah, literally, that's how I found out about Fire
At
Emblem was
large.
Smash when I was a kid.
Full swordsman and melee. Now we can't
So would
have
Smash bring it? Smash take it away.
enough.
This is actually the truest thing said on this podcast so far.
Booters, if you're out there, Fire Emblem, please.
Smash
You could even
Ultimate.
do like a stupid Moonshake cover. It could be Purple Rain, okay, but it's Marth and a purple horse. Fucking
You seem
gold.
like you've
Lock it up.
already planned out this. later,
Yeah, you
so-
have this ready.
There. I don't know if
need
you
the
guys heard me
art.
say this, but I definitely say this all the time.
Pico has it ready. Do not put it on a lathe though.
Man up.
If you put it on a lathe, at least send me one, and then I'll critique it for you.
He'll listen to it though.
Yeah, no matter how bad it is, that shit'll get spun.
Well,
Well,
just about cut to the meat of it.
Yeah, let's bring someone in for the closing notes.
seems fucking me up.
No. We're gonna bring my favorite guy in all the time. It's not an episode.
Is it our man? Who's it gonna be?
Who is it? Who's the favorite?
I think I know.
If I had to guess.
Joseph himself.
Hello, Joey.
Oh, the pre-post show host.
Yay!
A crossover.
Pre-post.
This
Hi.
is actually the pre-post show.
Yeah, welcome to the pre-post show, everybody. Did everybody enjoy the whole show? I really enjoyed the nice conversation. AC was an absolute blast of a guest. What was everyone's favorite part?
I liked learning about Pico's lathes. Because I know now that he owns more than I do, which makes me feel better.
That means that he likes them more than you do. Too.
Yeah,
This is
Pico's
accurate.
probably the
fucking
biggest.
embarrassing.
Pico's the biggest endorser of lathes.
It's
Number one
undeniable
lathe
map.
fan, Pico. New role.
For sure. Secretly, I'm SSR.
Sweet stuff.
The greatest dupe.
Can't wait for you to quit.
Yeah, and then also I
No, I
really
gotta
liked
go.
when sponsors came in and said Big Ass Haunted Mansion.
That's
I'm
a good
playing
one.
a game I can't end the stream. So
Big Ass Haunted Mansion. I said it twice!
As they should. If only I had the power to end.
I'll try it 3 times. Big Ass Haunted Mansion.
Goodbye, everyone.